So this is the integration test. The integration tests are developed using Postman and JavaScript. These are the details of the integration test. These are the negative scenarios which are covered as part of an integration test. And sales order creation and sales return order creation are included as part of the integration test. All these are automated using JavaScript, and each and every request and response validations are made. Let me quickly run the regression suite. So the test execution is in progress. If you see, all the test cases have passed. So if you see the test execution, all the test cases have passed. This is about the integration test. Please note all the validations are done using JavaScript, and it is automated using Postman. The purchase order creation and purchase return order creations are not included as part of the integration test, as as purchase order number is required for as a prerequisite. This is not automated. The order creation and purchase return order creation would be automated in the system test, that is using Playwright and Cucumber. These are the details of the Playwright test scripts. The Playwright has been integrated with Cucumber. The feature is sales order. Here the scenario is creation of sales order. Before explaining the test case, let me highlight few of the challenges which are faced in automating the Playwright scripts. The sales module, that is the sales order module, that is the computer doctor purchase order system, was a desktop application. It was not able to automate using Playwright. Hence, it was converted into web application, and using combination of UI and API, the test cases were automated. The case is similar with the ERP application. ERP application is a window-based application, and it was not possible to automate using Playwright. Hence, a combination of UI and web services were taken, and this scenario is automated. So the creation of sales order scenario, initial transaction from the bank would be captured. Once initial transaction of bank are captured, next sales order would be created in computer doctor purchase order management system. Once the sales order is created, the created sales order would be verified in the computer manufacturer sales warehouse management system. Validations such as whether the details of the sales order are correct in the sales order module, in the sales order item module, in the sales, in the delivery module, in the inventory module, all will be validated in the warehouse management system. Once all the details are validated, then the ERP transaction would be validated whether a receipt transaction has been created or not. Finally, the bank transactions will be validated whether the customer computer doctor has performed a fund transfer, and the seller, that is computer manufacturer, has a credit transaction registered. This is the overall outline about this scenario. Let me quickly execute the scenario. These are the details of the Playwright test scripts. The Playwright has been integrated with Cucumber. The feature is sales order. Here the scenario is creation of sales order. Before explaining the test case, let me highlight few of the challenges which are faced in automating the Playwright scripts. The sales module, that is the sales order module, that is the computer doctor purchase order system, was a desktop application. It was not able to automate using Playwright. Hence, it was converted into web application, and using combination of UI and API, the test cases were automated. The case is similar with the ERP application. ERP application is a window-based application, and it was not possible to automate using Playwright. Hence, a combination of UI and web services were taken, and this scenario is automated. So the creation of sales order scenario, Initial transaction from the bank would be captured. Once initial transaction of bank are captured, next sales order would be created in computer doctor purchase order management system. Once the sales order is created, the created sales order would be verified in the computer manufacturer sales warehouse management system. Validation such as whether the details of the sales order are correct in the sales order module, in the sales order item module, in the sales, in the delivery module, in the inventory module, all will be validated in the warehouse management system. Once all the details are validated, then the ERP transaction would be validated whether a receipt transaction has been created or not. Finally, the bank transactions will be validated whether the customer computer doctor has performed a fund transfer and the seller, that is computer manufacturer, has a credit transaction registered. This is the overall outline about this scenario. Let me quickly execute the scenario. So the scenario execution has begun. This is computer doctor's bank account. The initial transaction ID is 10 and the computer manufacturer's bank account. The initial transaction ID would be retrieved. The automation script is now logging into the computer doctor's purchase order system and sales order would be created. These are the details of the sales order. Now, automation script would log in into the computer manufacturer's warehouse management system. Here, it will navigate to the sales order module. In the sales order module, whether all the sales order details are correct will be validated. For example, sales order number, product, summary, unit price, quantity, total, everything will be validated. Now, automation script will navigate to sales order item module. In the sales order item module, it will search for the sales order and it would validate whether the sales order number, customer, product, summary, unit price, quantity, and total are correct. Once these validations are complete, the automation script will validate to the delivery order and it will search for the delivery order. And once the delivery order is found, it will validate that the sales order number is correct, the warehouse is correct, that the product and movement are correct. All these details would be validated. Now, automation script would navigate to the inventory transaction. In the inventory transaction, it will search for the inventory transaction number. It will validate the product movement date number, inventory transaction number, movement stock. Since it is a sales order, the stock has reduced to -1. And from London to warehouse customer, the transaction has taken place as in the inventory. Now, uh, now the automation script will navigate to the ERP module. Since ERP module is a desktop application, it is automated using web services and UI. Here, automation script will validate whether a receipt transaction is created and all its details such as voucher, amount, and date will be validated. In the computer doctor account, whether a transfer has happened, transaction date, transaction type, source, and target account will be validated. In the computer manufacturer, this is the Cucumber generated report. And if you see, it is these are the details of the report. It is executed using Cucumber JS node version, and it is executed in the Windows environment. All the details are captured. So this scenario has successfully passed, and this data has been used. All are mentioned in this report. Uh, Please note that while creating the sales order, a sales order PDF would also be created, and those are also validated by the automation test script. So this is the sales order which is created by the integration solution, and this details will be validated by the automation script. This is the delivery order which is created by the integration solution, and all the details such as product delivered unit, everything will be validated by the automation test script. Next is the negative scenario. Uh, for a given sales order, we are creating a duplicate delivery order and verifying the same. This is the scenario. Initial transaction of bank transaction ID would be captured. Once the bank transaction IDs are captured, a sales order would be created. using the product name, quantity, delivery location. Once the sales order is created, sales order detail would be validated in warehouse management system, such as in the sales order module, sales order item module, in delivery module, and inventory module. Then whether a ERP receipt transaction is created would be validated. Then in the bank application, whether the customer has performed a fund transfer, whether the seller, whether for the seller under his account, a credit transaction is reflected would be validated. These are the prerequisites for this scenario. Once the prerequisite creation is successful and validated, the next a duplicate delivery order would be created with the duplicate product name, with duplicate quantity, with duplicate delivery location. Once the duplicate delivery order is created, it would be validated in the warehouse management system, that is sales order item module, in delivery module, in inventory module. Then the ERP receipt transaction would be validated for the duplicate delivery order, and bank transaction status for the customer bank account and the seller's bank account would be validated. Let me quickly execute the scenario. So the scenario execution has began. This is the computer doctor's initial transaction ID, bank transaction ID. This is computer manufacturer initial transaction ID. Both will be retrieved. Now automation script will log in into the computer doctor's purchase order management system. Here a sales order is created. Now automation test script will log in into the computer manufacturer warehouse management system. It will navigate to the sales order and it will validate all the details such as sales order number, that unit. It will validate the sales order number, product summary, unit price, quantity, and total. Once all these validations are complete, it would navigate to the sales order module. In the sales order item module, it will validate whether the customer, product name, summary, unit price, quantity, and total are correct. Once this validation is complete, it would navigate to the delivery order. Here, delivery order would be searched and all its details would be verified. For example, whether the sales order is correct, whether the warehouse is correct, whether the product is correct, whether the movement is correct. Everything in the delivery order would be validated. Now automation script would navigate to the inventory module. In the inventory module, it will search for the inventory transaction. It would search whether the product is correct, whether the inventory transaction number is correct, whether movement is correct, whether stock is reduced by one, whether it has been transferred from the warehouse to customer. All these details would be validated. Now automation script will navigate to the ERP application. In the ERP application, whether a receipt transaction is created, under the receipt transaction, whether the date, voucher number, ledger account, amount, everything is correct, would be validated. Now automation test script would log in to the computer doctor customer's bank account and will check whether fund transfer has occurred. Now automation test script is logging in to computer manufacturer, that is seller's account, and check whether credit amount has been reflected. Now automation test script would create a duplicate delivery order for the same sales order. A duplicate delivery order is being created. It is it is inputting the sales order number and creating a duplicate delivery order. So the warehouse is Amsterdam and duplicate product is Dell server. A duplicate delivery order is created. Now automation test script would navigate to the sales order module and it would check whether a duplicate delivery order created is reflecting under the sales order. If you see under the sales order, duplicate delivery order is not reflecting. It would navigate to the sales order item module and check whether the duplicate delivery order item is reflecting. And if you see there is no duplicate delivery order item reflecting in the sales order item module, now automation test script would navigate to the delivery order it would search for the delivery order. Here, two delivery orders are created. Uh, Initial one as part of creating the sales order, and next one is just now created by the automation test script. And all its details would be validated whether the sales order number is correct, whether the product is correct, whether the movement is correct. Everything would be validated. Now, the second duplicate delivery order details would also be validated. This is the initial delivery order created by the automation test script. Here, all the details would be validated. Now the automation test script is navigating to the inventory module. It will validate the inventory transaction. Here we can see there is only one inventory transaction, that is for Dell servers, and movement is 1 and minus 1 from Amsterdam to customer. Duplicate for the duplicate item, the inventory transaction was not created. Now automation test script would navigate to the ERP application. In the ERP application, it would validate whether a receipt amount has been updated and receipt transaction has been updated. And if you see that there is no update in the receipt account and it is not reflecting in the ERP application. Now it is logging into the customer's bank account and check whether the fund transfer is there. If you see there is no fund transfer in the computer manufacturer, there is also no credit transaction reflecting. So this is the report which is generated by the Kukumbar. Let us review the report. Creation of duplicate delivery order for a given sales order. First, a sales order is created and it is verified, and then the duplicate order is created and it is verified in the warehouse management system, ERP, and bank application. First step which is failing is a duplicate delivery order was created in the delivery module, which is highlighted here. And in the sales order module, duplicate sales order was not created. Our existing sales order was not updated. In the sales order module, product name was not created. A duplicate product name was not created. And in the sales order item module, duplicate sales order item is not created, or duplicate product name was not created. And in the sales order module, the amount created also is also not reflecting the duplicate delivery order just now created. And in the delivery module, a duplicate order number is created. There are two delivery order numbers which are highlighted here. And in the delivery module, the duplicate product name is also created. And in the delivery module, duplicate delivery location is also created. In the inventory, there are duplicate inventory transactions which are created, which is highlighted here. In the inventory transaction, duplicate product names are created, which is reflected here. In the inventory, there is a duplicate location reflecting, which is highlighted here. Number of invoices in the ERP is mismatching. That is, new invoice is not created or existing invoice is not adjusted. Invoice amount in the ERP transaction, there is a mismatch, and there should be update in the invoice amount which has not occurred. In the bank account for the customer has not transferred any amount to the seller. So there is a transaction mismatch and there is an amount mismatch. In the seller account, the updated amount is not reflecting or transaction not reflecting. So the test case has been executed with this data. The sales order is created using this data, and duplicate sales order is creating using this data, and this is failing. This is the overall report of duplicate delivery order. The next is the negative scenario. We are updating more quantity in the delivery order. This is the scenario. First, the sales order would be created and it would be validated in the warehouse management system. ERP transactions would be verified and the bank transactions would be verified. Once the prerequisites is satisfied, that is the creation of sales order and validating everything in all involved application, then delivery order with more quantity would be updated. The updated quantity is reflecting whether it is reflecting in the warehouse management system would be validated. The next ERP transaction would be validated, and finally bank transaction would be validated. This is the scenario. and it is a negative scenario. Let me execute the scenario quickly. The scenario execution has begun. Initial transaction ID of the computer doctor and computer manufacturer are captured. Now the automation test script is logging in into the purchase order management system of a of customer, and a sales order is placed. Now automation test script would log in into the sales computer manufacturer warehouse management system. Now automation test script would validate the sales order. It would navigate to the sales order module, and in the sales order module, all the details of the sales order would be validated. The sales order number, product, unit price, quantity, and total would be validated. Next, in the sales order item module, all the details would be validated. It would search for the sales order item, and it would validate the product, unit price, quantity, and total. Once these validations are successful, it would move to the delivery order. And in the delivery order would be searched and delivery order details would be validated. All the details such as sales order, warehouse product and movement would be validated. Then it would navigate to the inventory module. In inventory transaction, whether inventory transaction has been created or not would be validated. If it is created, inventory transaction movement stock, whether it is reduced from warehouse, which warehouse to customer has been shipped, everything will be validated. Now the automation test script would log in into the ERP application. In the ERP application, whether a sales order is a sale receipt transaction is created would be validated. So a receipt transaction has been created for the sales order. It would validate the voucher number, amount, date, and ledger account. Everything would be validated here. In the computer doctor account, whether a transfer is there is validated along with the source account, target account. In the computer manufacturer, whether a credit transaction is there would be validated. Now, the now automation script would update the delivery quantity. It is searching the delivery order. In the delivery order, the quantity would be updated. The initial quantity was 1, it would be updated to 6. The updation process is successful now. Now automation test script is navigating to the sales order, searching the sales order, and it is validating whether the updated quantity is reflecting or not. So this is the sales order, and the quantity is not reflecting in the sales order module. Next, automation test script would navigate to the sales order item module. It would search for the sales order item and check whether quantity is updated or not. Here quantity is not updated. The updated quantity is 6. Initial quantity is 1. Initial quantity is reflected here. Now, automation test script would navigate to the delivery order. In the delivery order, whether the quantity is updated or not would be validated. So it is searching for the delivery order. In the delivery order, whether the updated quantity is reflecting or not would be validated. Here the movement is the quantity is updated. Now automation test script would navigate to the inventory transaction. In the inventory transaction, it would search for the inventory transaction. In the inventory transaction, whether a movement is there, here the stock is -6 and movement 6 is there, it would be validated. So 6 stocks are being delivered to the customer. Now the automation test script would log in into the ERP application. In the ERP application, whether for the updated quantity that is 6, the transaction is reflecting or not would be validated. So the updated quantity is 6, the amount should be increased, but it is not reflecting. Hence, the transaction in the ERP is not updated. Now it would check whether a fund transfer for quantity 6 has been made. No fund transfer has been made. The computer manufacturer would check whether a credit amount has been credited. No credit amount has been credited. This is the report generated for update in the delivery order for more quantity. And let us review the report and result. In the sales order module, quantity is not updated. for which the assertion is failing. In sales order module, amount is not updated for which the assertion is failing. In sales order item module, quantity is not updated for which the test case is failing. In sales order item module, the amount is not updated and the test case step is failing. And in the ERP transaction, if you see number of invoices in the ERP transaction, there is a mismatch. A new transaction, ERP transaction for updated quantity, that is 6, is not created. That's why it is failing. In the ERP transaction, amount mismatch is there. The amount should be higher. It is not reflecting. That's the reason this step is failing. In the bank transaction, number of transaction is not matching. It is expected to have additional transaction which is not present, hence it is failing. And in the bank transaction, the updated amount is not reflecting, hence this test step is failing. In the seller's account, also there is no transaction, no updated credit transaction is there. That is the reason this step is failing. And in seller account, the updated amount is not reflecting, hence this test step is failing. So this is the test case. The initial data is placed with this quantity is 1 and find updated quantity. There is a mismatch in sales order item details, and there is a mismatch in ERP transaction, and there is a mismatch in the bank account transaction. Hence, this test case is failing. Here, the soft assertion is used. Hence, if any test steps fails in the middle, it won't execution won't stop, and it would finally summarize all the failed assertions. This is the negative scenario, and this is the final and last scenario in the sales order module. Creation of sales order with more quantity is the scenario. Initial transactions of bank ID would be captured. Once the initial transaction of bank is captured, the creation of sales order would be done with this product name with the quantity as 4 and delivery location as this Switzerland. Once the sales order creation is successful, the details of the sales order would be verified in the warehouse management system, sales order module, sales order item module, delivery module, and inventory module. Once all this has been verified, the ERP receipt transaction would be verified, and the bank transaction, whether a fund transfer and a credit transaction has occurred in customer and seller's account, would be validated. So the scenario execution has begun. The computer doctor's initial transaction ID would be captured. The computer manufacturer initial transaction ID would be captured. Now automation test script would log in into the computer's doctor's purchase order management system, and it would place an order. Place an order. Here, this is the sales order details. Now automation test script would navigate to the computer manufacturer's warehouse management system. It would navigate to the sales order module, and it would check whether the sales order has all the details which is used for creation. It is validating whether the sales order details are correct. Here the product, unit price, quantity, and total are verified, and now automation test script is navigating to sales order item module. Now a sales order would be searched, and all the corresponding data such as customer, unit price, quantity, total would be validated. Now automation test script would navigate to the delivery module. In the delivery module, delivery order details would be validated. Here details such as sales order, product, warehouse, movement is one here, which is wrong, which is not correct. It should be 6. Now automation script would navigate to the inventory module. In the inventory module, it would search for the delivery order. And if you see that for this inventory transaction, the stock is -1. It is not 6, which is not correct, which will be validated. And it is checking whether it has been shipped to the customer. Now automation test script would log in into the ERP application, and in the ERP application, it would check whether a receipt transaction is created, whether the receipt transaction created has correct amount, the correct voucher number, correct ledger account and date. Once this is done, it would log in into the bank account and of the computer doctor and check whether a fund transfer is there. A fund transfer details would be validated. Now it is logging into computer manufacturer account and checking whether credit transaction is there. So this is the report created for a sales order with more quantity. Yeah, let us review the report. Here, in the delivery module, the quantity is not correct. It should be 4. It is 1, due to which this assertion is failing. In the inventory module, the quantity should be 4, but it is 1. Hence, this test step is failing. In the ERP transaction, as per the quantity in the delivery order and in the inventory module, it should reflect, but it is not reflecting as per the stock or movement. Hence, this test step is failing. In the customer bank account, the fund transfer should be as per the inventory and the delivery order, but it is not. The amount is not matching, hence it is failing. In the seller's account, the amount mismatch is there. It is not as per the delivery order and the inventory transaction movement. Hence, this test step is failing. So this is the data used for this test case, and it is failing. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.